on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
Hey, it's 7:06 now. Thanks for tuning in on the break 7 o'clock hour. It's O'Connor and Company. And coming up in 30 minutes, we're going to speak with Congresswoman Virginia Foxx. Love her. She's good on all the education issues facing our country. She actually started as a school board member, Virginia Foxx did. And she's also part of that oversight committee that held hearings yesterday on the IRS whistleblower. So big stuff with Virginia Foxx coming up in just 30 minutes. I'm Larry O'Connor with the effervescent Virginian Mercedes Schlapp. Good morning, Mercedes.
Virginia is better than Maryland.
Well, it's different. It's a different kind of. No,
I love when you say that.
It is better.
You're
right.
so.
No,
you
it's
really
better.
should become the next White House press secretary for a Republican president because.
God forbid.
No.
Maryland has the Naval Academy, and that's
true.
And that's
Annapolis is beautiful.
That's a big trump card.
And I have great
Virginia.
friends there.
Joining us right now, another Virginian.
There you go.
Tumay Harding. She's also a dedicated mother and the Republican nominee for Loudoun Board of Supervisors. So there's much to discuss with you, Tumay. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Larry and Mercedes. Thank you so much for having me on this morning.
Listen, I want to get to your campaign certainly in a moment, but there's a development in your fight that your family has engaged in with a couple of other families in Loudoun County against an incident that happened with your daughter where Title IX charges against a teacher for sexual misconduct involving touching and inappropriate behavior. This was dragged on. You got the runaround from the school system. You had to appeal. You had to fight. They were mixing HR policies with Title IX, which is completely against the rules. But you finally got some resolution on this. Tell us where things stand now.
That's right, Larry. It has been 16 months, but I kept fighting. I kept fighting for the children and their families. And finally, Loudoun County Public Schools has decided to fire the teacher, and he will never be allowed to work for Loudoun County Public Schools again.
That is very good for the children of Loudoun County, and it's very good for the parents and taxpayers to see this kind of thing. But I got to ask, does that end this proceeding? Because is there anything stopping this teacher from going to another school system and getting a job? That's why we have these Title IX complaints and why we have open processes. So there's a record of this teacher. If they just fire him and think it goes away, then he could, behave this way in another school system.
Absolutely, Larry. And one of the recommendations I had given the superintendent was to request that his teaching license be revoked. Now, as you know, Loudoun County really loves to, quote unquote, protect administration and teachers first and children last, unfortunately. And they cited privacy and will not give me that information.
Wow.
Of course, so that is a problem. I'm concerned that he might pop over to a nearby county or neighboring state and once again seek to groom and victimize students.
Let me ask you, though, in addition to this, we saw that earlier in the year, Loudoun County School Board, they voted not to release the findings of an independent report of this 2021 sexual assault cases at two of the Loudoun County public high schools. They're obviously saying, well, it's attorney-client privilege communication and, certain information regarding students under the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Where will that end? I mean, will any information be released about the sexual assault cases?
It's my hope that it will be released. As you know, right now, our Attorney General, Jason Yaras, has his hands on that report. But honestly, it's a wait and see right now.
And what's your sense then in terms of for the upcoming school year? What do you foresee happening with the Loudoun County School Board? I know there's been so much tension between parents, obviously speaking out, defending their children, and the school board members who have just really, many of them not listening to the parents, really defending and staying focused on the schools.
Yeah.
I think it all boils down to accountability. The fact of the matter is there needs to be more accountability. And when it comes to the schools, the Board of Supervisors controls the purse strings, but they've become a rubber stamp.
Oh, you can finish. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that whether it's experimental bathrooms or boondoggle trips to Ghana, there needs to be better accountability, and Loudoun County does deserve better.
Well, and that brings us to your race. Listen, Tumay Harding is our guest. She's running for Loudoun County Board of Supervisors, and you're a mom, and you're faced with this with your child with inappropriate touching by a teacher. You get the runaround from these elected officials and from the school system who's trying to protect themselves and protect their teachers instead of protecting children. And you said, all right, enough is enough. You're going to become a part of the solution. You decided to run for the Republican nomination. You're now the nominee. Tell me how this personal fight as a mother and as a taxpayer against this institution in Loudoun, the school system, how that is informing your candidacy and what you want to bring to the table should you win this election.
Well, as you know, over the past 3 years, while Loudoun County has been in the national headlines, I've been standing with parents and fighting against divisive critical race theory and radical transgender policies. And quite honestly, of course, first and foremost, student safety for all students. But I think right now, I fought for my daughter and her friends and their families for what's right. And I will continue to fight for the people of Loudoun County. It has created that fire in my belly. And I won't stop until we do gain accountability and transparency back with our county.
Tumay's running in the Ashburn district, by the way. I want to be specific there. And you mentioned this story about members of the county supervisors taking this taxpayer-funded junket to Uruguay and to Ghana. And boy, they were living large. They were going business class, 5-star hotels. I mean, it's like made to order for your campaign, frankly. This is exactly what's wrong here, this elitist attitude. They're supposed to be public servants, Tumay.
That's right, and that's what I want to do. I want to serve my community. That is all I care about, and I want to bring Loudoun County together again. No more of this divisiveness, no more pet projects, no more taking these extravagant trips. It's horrible. That is Loudoun County taxpayers' money, and it's being spent on themselves and their own agendas.
So we just saw that the Virginia Department of Education, under obviously the leadership of Governor Youngkin, honored parental rights in this new model policies on how schools should respond to children who claim to identify as transgender. We're seeing that, part of the finalized policy requires students to participate in school athletic programs and use bathroom facilities consistent with their biological sex. I mean, these are definitely the right steps that we've seen the Virginia Department of Education taking. What's your sense in terms of how it's going to be received in these schools?
I think that a lot of parents are going to they're getting their hope back. I truly do. I think that a lot of people have been silenced because they're being told that they're prejudiced or just not good people. And I think that we all need to protect our children. School safety for everyone, not just the 1%. And I think that it just makes sense. Our daughters deserve better, and our sons deserve better.
Well, she is running for Loudoun County Board of Supervisors. The election is upon us now. My gosh, we're just a few months away from Election Day in November, and we wish you all the luck. And congratulations. I mean, you've already scored a victory on behalf of parents in Loudoun County when you were fighting against this teacher, and I think it's a good indication of the kind of spirit you'll bring to the Board of Supervisors. So it's great talking with you as always.
Thank you so much. Please visit my website, tumayforchange.com, to learn more about my campaign and my fight.
You bet.
Thank you, Larry.
Tumay for Change is the website, and Tumay is spelled Tumay. Thank you so much, Tumay Harding.